Thank you, Chairman, for taking the time to join us. Let's start off with rules that you talked about, the potential for changes with regard to co-location at exchanges. What changes would you like to see specifically?
Well, we don't have specific changes to propose yet on co-location. What we want to do is take a big step back and look at all the market structure issues that have developed over the last several years as the markets have evolved so dramatically because of technology. So co-location, sponsored access or direct market access, high-frequency trading, other dark pools of liquidity, the whole range of issues around market structure that we think we need to really peel back the covers on and understand whether the regulatory regime has kept pace, whether long-term investors' interests are being protected as all these changes come about.
When you talk about some of these market structure changes, what kind of time frame are you thinking about? Is this a 6-month process, maybe a year-long process?
We hope to have a concept, what we call a concept release, which is a big think piece out early in the new year, and then we'll receive comment on that. We might hold roundtables and bring in investors, firms, hedge funds, and others to talk about the issues they see in the marketplace that need to be addressed, and then proceed from there with any regulatory proposals that might be needed.
What do you think is the most urgently needed change of those market changes you've talked about? What's the first thing you want to get to right off the bat?
Two that we've just done, we peeled off a couple from the big project because we thought they were important, related to marketable flash orders and dark pools of liquidity, because we thought that those were very important from an investor protection perspective because they had the tendency to create sort of two-tier marketplace, or a select group that have access to information while many other investors don't. So we've dealt with those very quickly. I think sponsored market access is a really critical issue for us to also potentially peel off of the big review and deal with more quickly.
All right, you've also said you want to see changes to outdated laws governing asset-backed securities. What do you envision specifically?
Well, you know, we've been talking a lot about the firing up again of the securitization market and the importance of that happening, but we think there's some investor protections that ought to be encapsulated in law, and so we've been working with Congress to make some proposals with respect to things like reps and warranties, ongoing reporting by asset-backed issuers during the life of the security, and in a number of other areas where we think investors will be better served.
You talked about retirement products. You see a lot of risks associated with those coming down the pike. What specific risks do you see? How do you want to see this industry better regulated?
Well, the general worry I have about retirement products is if people lose their money in these products or they pay excessive fees, they have very little ability to replenish those funds. They're in retirement and they're not working, and their capability to restore funds that are lost is limited. So we'd like to see, we will focus on disclosure, product design, and the fee structure for retirement products to ensure that they're fair for investors, they're honestly sold and marketed, and that firms have done sufficient testing to understand how these products will perform during different economic cycles. So we have a concern, given the aging demographic of our country, that the industry step up here and do a great job putting their investors' interests first.
Now, Chairman Schapiro, you've been on the job for about 10 months now. Are you confident, can you say you feel confident that the SEC is equipped right now, today, to thwart or stop the next potential Madoff Ponzi scheme? Are the markets safe? Are investors safe? Is the SEC equipped?
We are a significantly under-resourced agency, and let me give you one set of numbers. There are 11,300 investment advisors. There are 8,000 mutual funds. We have about 400 examiners to cover that universe. It's just not sufficient for people to have a high level of comfort that the SEC is every place in the markets that they would like us to be. So we're on the path. We're leveraging third parties wherever we can through whistleblower legislation, through the use of accounting firms and others.
All right. Well, Chairman Schapiro, thank you so much for taking the time. We appreciate it, and best of luck to you and the agency.